Gospels tell us that Jesus was once asked, "What is the heart of the law?" The Scriptures. What is the essence of our faith? And Jesus responded, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind." He quotes the Shema, an ancient Jewish prayer, and says to them, and to us, that the heart of faith is relationship with God, something Jesus modeled for us through his own relationship with God, as we hear in the stories of the Gospels. For his was a life centered on love, prayer, service, and worship. Throughout the Gospel stories, Jesus is constantly in synagogues, the temple, with others and by himself, worshiping God. As are the early disciples and Christians, written about on the pages of the New Testament. For me, worship is at the center of my faith and life, and that is not just because I'm a pastor. It has been for most of my adult life. From the moment I got a glimpse of God come to us in Jesus as a young college student over 25 years ago. Worship is my daily morning and evening prayer and study. It's singing hymns and reading the Bible each night together with my family. It's experiencing God in the midst of the natural world and in the amazing things that people, image bearers of God, have built. But most importantly, it's when we meet together as God's people, as the church. For when we do, on Sundays and on other times throughout the week, we are living into the vision of worship that Jesus speaks of to the woman at the well, of worshiping God in spirit and truth, not just at certain times or in particular places, but with the whole of our lives practiced in community. Relationship with God is formative, and nothing brings us into deeper relationship with God than acts of worship together as God's people, where we meet and are fed and grown by God come to us in word and sacrament. That, friends, is the heart of our faith. It is why St. Paul tells us to worship God through the restoration of our minds and hearts, and to honor God with our bodies, because it is in us and with us that God dwells in this world, in our hearts, our minds, our all. One of the manifestations of God with us, actively in our lives, is the fostering of generosity in ourselves. And during this season of generosity, we invite you to join us in thoughtfully reflecting on what and how we give. For generosity and service are at the heart of our love of God and reflect the relationship we have with God. The essence of relationship is expressed in action. As we move fearlessly into the future, we want First English to continue to be a place where people grow in their relationship to God, and worship is one of those central things that propels us forward. This is why, as we reflected on the initiatives of our generosity campaign this year, we focused on those things which enhance our corporate worship, like worship staff and the technology that makes our in-person and virtual worship possible and rich. The things, we hope, will propel us forward together as we continue to fearlessly join God in loving the world.